Have you seen these boys? Where are the boys? We want to know, where are the boys? Where are the boys? Welcome to this unidentified channel. Today we are going to be talking about the two missing brothers from California City, Orrin and Orson West. I'm just going to go over some of the things that I have come across since these boys have went missing, and this information has been collected from a variety of sources, so I'm just going to go through what I have discovered. So Orrin and Orson West were reported missing by their adoptive parents on December the 21st, 2020. The story that has been told goes something like this. It was December the 21st, 2020, and Trezell and Jacqueline West are the adoptive parents for Orrin and Orson West. These boys were adopted by Trezell and Jacqueline, and the boys are 4 years old and 3 years old. So it's December the 21st. They have some Christmas presents that need to be wrapped. They have a total of 6 children altogether, 4 adopted children and 2 biological children. The youngest of the children, I believe all the children are boys, but the youngest are the 3 and 4-year-old Orrin and Orson. And the older 4 had gone with grandma on vacation, and they kept the youngest 2, I guess because they're a handful. They're just not old enough to go on vacation with the grandparents yet, so they kept them home. And Mom, Jacqueline, wanted to wrap Christmas gifts for the boys, and so they were going to put the boys out on the back patio with some chalk and let them play with chalk on the sidewalk patio while Dad, Trezell, collected firewood. So they go outside with the boys. They want them on the patio, not in the dirt. And Dad starts collecting firewood. And he says that he goes through the gate and goes on the other side and starts throwing wood over the fence. And he's just collecting firewood to build a fire because it's getting cold. And then he collects the firewood and he walks it in the house, and he walks by the boys and he sees them there playing with their chalk, and he goes in to put the firewood down, and he comes back out and the boys are gone. So he looks around the yard, he doesn't see them, he sees the back gates open, he left the back gate open, so he goes back in and he asks the mom or his wife, have you seen the boys? And she says no, they're outside playing with chalk. And he goes back outside and he can't find them. So he jumps in his van and he drives around the neighborhood looking for the boys, and he doesn't see them. And he asked a neighbor down the street if he had seen the boys, and he said no. And so it's getting dark, and he goes back home and he tells his wife, it's getting dark, I need help. We have to call the police. So Trezell calls the police and waits for the police to get there. Trezell calls the police and lets them know his boys are missing. It takes about 13 to 14 minutes for the police to arrive at the scene, and I suppose the parents give the police their statement. So here's where we are today. It's January the 15th, and this all happened on December the 21st. Lots of things have come out since December the 21st. The adopted parents, Trezell and Jacqueline West, gave a 13-minute interview with some news media outlets. You can find that interview on YouTube, just search for it. And there are some news outlets that have edited it, but the entire video is 13 minutes. You also have YouTubers going to Cali City to search, they're videoing, they are out looking for these kids, videoing. So here's what we know so far. The parents gave a 13-minute interview. Trezell West stood outside. Well, both parents had masks on due to COVID reasons. which covers up half of their face, so you're not able to see their whole face. But the dad stands there with his arms under his, with his hands under his arms like this for 13 minutes. Now, if you watch Linda with It's a Crime, she's done several videos on this topic of the boys missing, and she said she did a private live with her members and sat there like this for 13 minutes. It's very uncomfortable. It's very hard to do, to keep your arms like that, and I understand that maybe it was cold outside, but that was just a little weird. Lots of people are talking about all the weird things that have happened, so I'm going to go through the pointers of the things that have been brought to our attention. The neighbor has cameras on his home that overlook his yard, and it points in the direction of the West home. And a YouTuber, AV Watchman, United We Stand, went and got the video from the neighbor, and he goes through it, and please check out his channel. I'll link him below. AV Watchman has got some great video of the yard, of the home, of the video surveillance from the neighbor's house. He's done a lot of investigating, and it's all out there on YouTube. He has gave permission to use his video if you see some clips in here. Lots of information has come out through him, so please go check him out. Also, Linda with It's a Crime has got lots of information. Alright, so the parents say the boys were on the back deck or the back patio with the chalk. The neighbor's video goes back a few days, so when the Wests say they went shopping on December the 19th, you can see that video also in the neighbor's video footage of the home. And you see the family get in the van. Now, one thing that was pointed out were the parents got in the van and 4 children got in the van. So which 4 children, we don't know, but there were only 4 and not 6. So when did the children go to grandma's to be on vacation? And when the parents said they went shopping on the 19th, did they say they took all the kids or only a couple of the kids? Like, what is their story? We don't know. The house that this happened in, the parents have not stayed there from what I understand, and it has been vandalized. Someone threw a rock through the window, and they hung a big poster board up on the front of the home that says, "Where are the boys?" Everybody wants to know, where are the boys? And the police force in that area, it's not this huge force, and they don't have a lot of resources. And the police chief says he will not be searching the desert unless evidence or tips point him in that direction, that they will start from within and work their way out, and that this is an active case, and that it is ongoing, and it is definitely not a cold case, and that the parents have been cooperative. He couldn't comment on if the parents would agree to or disagree to have a lie detector test done, and we don't know if they have reviewed the video surveillance, which I haven't told you about yet. So the video surveillance from the neighbor's house from the night that the kids went missing, it's not like up close and personal, it's kind of far away, but you can see the dad walk out of the house, mess with the gate, walk in the house, walk out the house. You see him back and forth and out the gate, in the gate, whatever, but you don't ever see any kids. And the darker it gets, the darker it gets, and the lights being on outside kind of light up the yard. And so as he walks back and forth through the dark, you can see like his shadow through the gate, or through the fence, the privacy fence. You can see like the movement of him through the fence because he is dark and it's all lit up, so you can see it. Please go check it out. You can see it, and you don't ever see any kids. And then you see him go in the house when I guess he's taking the wood in the house. And just to see this video you don't see a lot of searching going on. You don't ever see any kids. You don't ever see the kids being in the back. You don't ever see them leave the yard. You don't ever see them wander off. You don't ever see any kids. You just see him. And I don't even think you see the mom. The extent of the way that they searched was go watch it. Go watch it. He searched, well, I don't even know if you could say, well, just go watch it. Okay, I'm going to quit saying that. Anyway, he jumps in his van and he is gone for approximately 6 minutes looking for the kids. Linda at It's a Crime shows you the route that she believes he took. It's literally a big, like a circle, square, rectangle type route, and he didn't even go the other way, like past his house the other way. He just did this loop and came right back around, and he never went the other way. And so that was a little weird to me. And then he jumps out of the van when he gets back, and you see him go stand by this tree, and he stands by the tree for about 13 to 14 minutes waiting on the cops to get there. Not looking for anything, just standing there waiting, which again is a little weird. They say that the cops told them that they didn't need to search, they need to stay in the home so that they can be there in case the cops need anything from them, and so people think that's weird. The reward for the return of these boys is at $100,000 today, and I want to go through the people that have put this reward up. Murphy's Pool and Spa, $5,000. City Council, $25,000. Greenstone Cannabis Retail and Preferred Towing combined their donation for a total of $20,000. The extended family of the West boys made a $30,000 contribution. West Coast Realty, $10,000 contribution, and Ron and Kim Smith from Victory Baptist Church made a $10,000 contribution. Now all this added up equals $100,000 for the safe return of these boys. The extended family has put out a couple statements. There's an official statement that says they've been threatened and they have been, their phones are ringing and people are threatening them, and they can't even come out and help look for the kids because of the violence and threats that have been made against them. So they are being forced to stay in their homes and not help look. They put out a second statement stating that their statements are coming from the extended family and not necessarily from the adopted parents of the boys. Now, the biological mom's name is Ryan Dean. Orrin and Orson West have their biological mom that has come into Cali City to help, to be there. Her children have come up missing in this home, and she felt like she needed to be there. She feels like these adoptive parents have something to do with her boy's disappearance. That's just the way she feels. We know everyone's innocent until proven guilty, so we have to keep that in mind. But with that being said, things are just a little off here. Where are these boys? Where are the boys? Why haven't we heard from this extended family that has put this $30,000 reward up about the last time they saw the children, all of the children, the family in general? Did we get together on holidays? Did we get together for Thanksgiving? What about Halloween? Where are the pictures? Some people have brought up that the pictures that have been provided to us of the boys where they looked a little malnutrition. What do you think about that? Do you feel like the boys have been neglected? We don't know what the other children have said. We don't know when the last time the other children are saying they saw those boys. What we know are the neighbors were asked if they had ever seen the children, the boys, and they said no. they haven't ever seen them. They've lived there since September, and they say they've never seen the boys. Now, we saw on video that children came out of that house and got into a van. So it's very possible that it's getting chilly. I don't know what the temperature is, or in September, October, November in Cali City. But once it gets colder outside, you don't necessarily go out and play. But some of the neighbors said that the boys, their children, could never come out and play, that they were always told no. And someone had tried to give them juice and they just wouldn't answer the door. They didn't need it. They just weren't very social with the neighbors. And personally, I get that. If you don't want to be sociable with the neighbors, that doesn't mean that you are neglecting your kids. It just doesn't mean that. But why couldn't the kids go out and play? You know, I mean, we're not necessarily friends with our neighbors, but our kids all know each other and play together, right? It's just a little weird. What are your thoughts? What else? The chief of police for California City is John Walker. He feels foul play is a part of this. He suspects foul play, but there are no leads, no tips, no one in custody, no one's been arrested. They have no persons of interest. There was a private investigator named Garcia that had been doing some PI work pro bono for these missing kids, and he has been a private investigator since the 90s, and the police chief advised that let's see exactly what he said. Chief John Walker thanked Garcia for his efforts, but also asked that Garcia tread carefully not to impede the investigation. So the investigator decided he's pulling off. He doesn't feel welcome. His service doesn't feel welcome, and they are given the vibes like he may be interfering instead of helping. Now, we understood that the FBI did come and collect the neighbor's video footage, and so we don't know where that's going to lead. I've heard that the parents left the home on Christmas and they haven't been back since. Then I heard the parents had come back. I heard that the parents left the state and went to a different state. We know that they took the children into protective custody and that the parents can actually work on getting them back. And the chief of police said that since these two boys came up missing and we don't know why or how or what happened to them, that is the reason that the other children were taken from the parents' custody. I don't know if they're in a foster care. I don't know if the extended family has them. The extended family continues to say their main goal is to protect the children. So we will see where that goes. Orrin and Orson West. Missing boys from California City. They are 3 and 4 years old and have been missing since December the 21st. If you have any information about these missing boys, please contact the California City Police at the number on the screen. One of the reporters asked the chief of police why an Amber Alert hadn't been issued for the boys, and he said it was his understanding that an Amber Alert was for someone that had been taken and they had a vehicle description to be able to broadcast for people to be able to look out for the vehicle and be able to find the child. So I've looked up what are the requirements for an Amber Alert to be issued, and here is what it says. Summary of Department of Justice recommended criteria. There is reasonable belief by law enforcement that an abduction has occurred. The law enforcement agency believes that the child is in imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death. There is enough descriptive information about the victim and the abduction for law enforcement to issue an Amber Alert to assist in the recovery of the child. The abduction is of a child aged 17 years or younger. The child's name and other critical data elements, including the child abduction flag, have been entered into the National Crime Information Center system. Now, in order for there to be reasonable belief by law enforcement that an abduction has occurred, it says that it's a judgment call and should be based on your best judgment to understand the situation, based on the evidence. It says Amber plans require law enforcement to confirm an abduction prior to issuing an alert. This is essential when determining the level of risk to the child. Clearly, stranger abductions are the most dangerous for children and thus are primary to the mission of an Amber Alert. To allow activations in the absence of significant information that an abduction has occurred could lead to abuse of the system and ultimately weaken its effectiveness. At the same time, each cause must be appraised on its own merit and a judgment call made quickly. Law enforcement must understand that a best judgment approach based on the evidence is appropriate and necessary. Should an Amber Alert have been issued for these boys? What do you think? What do you think? I'm going to go through a little bit more information that I may have skipped over, just some bullet points that I wrote down while I was doing my research. If you want to check out the statements by the extended family, you can check out Jamal Watkins' Facebook page. I will put that up so you can find it. The West family moved from Bakersfield, California to California City in September. Were the children seen back in Bakersfield, all 6 of them? I have heard that the realtor that the family went through was told by the adoptive father, Trezell, that there were only 4 children. I also heard a co-worker stated that they were told only 4 children. The family knows when the last time they saw all of this family together, all 6 of them. They know when the last time they saw all of these children. We don't know that information yet. I know lots of people in California City have joined together to help find these children. Where are the boys? That's what everybody wants to know. If you know, please let law enforcement know what you know. Orrin and Orson West came up missing from the 10,000 block of Aspen Avenue in California City on December the 21st.
Where? Right there. I see him. What time is that at?
If you use a little scroll thing on the mouse, it doesn't move the timeline.
Okay, so that spot that you see here,
That's 1613.
is at 1613. That's gonna be him. As far as we know. What happened?
I just put it back so we could see where he came from. So it's, oh, sorry.
Okay, so we're at 1611 right now. You got your camera on?
You're in the way, I can see anything.
Okay.
Oh, there he is right there.
There he is. You guys can see him walking there. What's he doing now? Trying to open that gate or?
Yeah. Did he say he was tossing wood over?
Yeah, he said he was tossing wood over the fence.
No, that gate was open. You can see them going in and out of that gate.
So when the bamboo is showing like that, it's open?
Yeah, it's open. You can see them going in and out.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on these two missing boys? What do you guys think has happened? What will the outcome of this be? Have you seen these boys? Where are the boys? We want to know, where are the boys? Thank you so much for staying with me. If you haven't already, let me know where you're watching from. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. The boys were announced, or I saw some more information. I don't know who. We're just gonna keep going, all right? If you haven't heard already, this is and sick. The boys, the story that has been told, the story. So he talks to a guy on the other side of the town, or sorry about that. Now, the police get there. I guess they give them. Well, okay. The West family moved from Bakersfield, so the West. And two of them were. Let's see. Not Lurky. Goes back a few days. Murphy's. What does that say? What does that say? Oh, I'm out. If you haven't watched that video footage from the neighbor's house, go watch it and then come back and tell me what you think about it.